This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past, present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Welcome back to Close Friends.
Oh, we're on.
I'm Brittney Saunders.
And I'm all right, hey.
And you've made your way onto our Close Friends list.
Because you don't put the juiciest goss on your main story, you keep it for your close friends.
That's exactly what these episodes are for, so let's get into it.
Hey, how are you? Sorry, I'm eating
Yeah, so rude of us.
Lifesavers. You know, I commented on one of Lifesavers' videos. And they saw that and just decided to send me like 20 bloody packets of Lifesavers.
Yum, these are fucking good.
You tried the new peach ones, right?
Not a fan.
Oh my God, I loved them.
No.
I was obsessed.
These are way better than the peach ones.
Nice. Here. Have some of those. Go for your life. Okay, so
We're doing rapid fire Q&A in
Yes.
today's episode. We asked you on Instagram, on both of our accounts, to send us questions, and we're throwing it back to our YouTube days. I can't believe we saying, "Hey everyone, I'm going to make a Q&A, so if you could all send in your questions."
lazy, isn't it? So
Fucking
lazy.
lazy. This is lazy
And that's
of
what we're
us.
doing it today, is being
Yeah.
lazy, because we're doing a double record, so
We're recording 4 episodes at once, and this
Yeah.
is the 4th record, and we just fucking had enough. So I'm sick of looking at Matt. He's sick of looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm sick of hearing his voice.
Yeah.
So let's just get into it, and let's go one for one. And let's just start with the most common question that we both got, which I can't fucking
Oh my
believe
God.
we got the question, how did you both meet?
Yeah.
That is episode 1 of High Scrollers. We go way back to when we first met. We were both working at Westfield, and we tell the whole story. So I'm not going to spoil it. Go back and listen to episode 1 if you want to hear the whole
which
story.
also might be very jarring to go back to,
Because we've gotten a lot better at this
hopefully,
podcast.
or we've gotten a bit looser, I think. So
Yeah. It's very PG.
might be a bit uptight. Anyway, do you want to ask the first actual question?
Both of your partners aren't on socials. Do they get annoyed that you're always on your phone?
But who says I'm always on my phone? I'm not on my phone all the time.
I am.
No, I'm not.
I am, and actually, I will say in the early days of mine and AJ's relationship, when he was a full-time electrician and he had nothing to do with like fate or anything, he actually would get annoyed with me being on my phone at night. But this was back in the day when I was running everything for Fate.
Yeah.
Like Fate started and I was doing all of our social posting, all of our editing. So I would be on my phone constantly. And because AJ isn't on social media and he was new to my life and new to my world, and this was still when I was influencing, he would get a bit annoyed being like, you're always on your phone. But I think over the years he has come to understand like what I'm doing on my phone. And I would go as far as saying, I reckon people spend just as much time on their phone as me, when a lot of the time I'm doing something work-wise on my phone, whereas
Yeah.
other people just scroll.
Yeah.
But now I think AJ's just used to it, and he's also addicted to TikTok, so he's always on his phone too.
And not to be a bitch, but I think Sky understands that, like, hello, babe, we go on free holidays and get lots of amazing things and earn lots of money due to me being on my phone. So I think he's, like, relaxed about the whole thing.
Slay.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Doesn't really care. But also, I'm not really on my phone that much, I feel. I think he's more upset about the book reading. I got one. What would make you guys have a falling out? And if so, how would you overcome it? And have you ever had a falling out? We've never had a falling out.
No. I think we spoke about that in episode 1 as well.
Yeah, probably.
We've never had a fight or gone through a phase where we haven't talked.
No, we've been through a phase where we didn't talk, but like life just got busy. There was no reason.
Yeah. And also we are from different cities. Like we've never lived close to each other.
No.
Which I think has been good for a friendship. Like sometimes you spend too much time with your friends, like you can get on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
But I'm from Newcastle, Matt's from the Central Coast. That's like an hour away. Now you're 2 hours away from me. So it's good. I'll get enough space away from you that like I can see you in small doses and it's fine.
Yeah. And also with this podcast as well, like that, I feel like there's not much drama because
We work really well together.
but we're doing something as well that's like it's easy.
Yeah.
I know you put in a lot of effort driving down all the time, but it's like very like it's very easy, it's very chill. Like we don't take I feel bad saying this, but like we don't take this very seriously in the sense that it's like we're just here to have a good time. We're not changing the world.
Yeah.
We don't want to be number 1 on the charts.
We
We're not trying. No, we're number 1 in the hearts.
Yeah.
You know, we just want to have fun with you scrollers and just like, who gives a fuck? Really, life's short.
Fuck
We're just
it
here
all.
we're just here to have a good time, you know?
Yeah. Next one. Someone said, sorry, I listen to your podcast while driving and I don't always get to rate 5 stars. Well, shame on you. You're blocked. Next.
If you could be each other for a day, what would you do? What's the first thing you'd do and why? Me, if I was Brittney for a day, I'm maxing out the credit cards. Your go.
If I was you, I would go and do a drag show.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
You could do that now without me.
I know. I could be a drag king, but no, I'd go.
You could be a drag queen as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
There are like female
drag queens.
Oh, you can be, no matter the gender or orientation or anything, you can be whatever you want these days. It's 2024,
if
baby.
If I was you, I would do that.
Nice.
My question is, if you could get one plastic surgery for free, anything, what would you get?
You know, the other day, this is so random, I went to have a consultation for veneers. Not that I want veneers, but I wanted some teeth whitening and stuff and thought, while I'm here, we'll take all the photos and have a look. And the dentist said, you know what, your teeth don't need anything done to them.
No,
and
you have nice teeth.
Yeah, like I like my gap and everything like that. Like I like my teeth. Obviously didn't when I was younger, but like...
I feel like you would look weird if you didn't have a gap in between your teeth.
Well, that's what I said. I said, can I get veneers? But... have the gap still. I was like, I want to see that a rendered image of that, of what that would look like. But anyway,
weird.
He was like, I wouldn't do anything. So it's good that like the dentist was like, you know, you don't need to do anything.
Shout out to that dentist.
But one thing that I would get, I definitely would. I'm all about getting Botox in my forehead. I've never had anything done. No cosmetic, no Botox, no nothing, but like Botox in my forehead just because it's a bit wrinkly up there. I'd love it. The makeup settles in there and stuff like that. I'd love if it didn't. So what's yours?
I think I would get a nose job.
Okay.
But I wouldn't want to have a different nose at all. But I do just have the littlest bump on my nose. And I'd just love to see what that would look like if it was just a straight line instead of the little bump.
Yeah, okay.
But it's not enough that I would actually go and get it.
Turn to the side? Yeah, okay.
It's just like a tiny little hump.
Not that bad.
I like when people just have like a smooth slope.
Nice.
So if I could get it for free, I would maybe do it.
Do I have a smooth slope?
Yeah, pretty smooth.
Nice. I've never even looked at my nose from the side, I don't think. How do you even do that?
Take a photo.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you both see yourselves having families and are you content with your partners?
Okay, well,
Imagine us getting on here going, you know what, we're really unhappy in our relationships.
Actually, AJ's fucking pissing me off lately.
Oh, we're really not content at all with our partners. No.
I would say I'm so content with AJ and our life together. We get along really well. Like, we have an amazing life. And that's why I'm actually just on the fence as to whether I would ever want to change that by having kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, fuck, you just sit on both sides of the fence. Like, yes, we'd be amazing parents. We have a great life. We could give kids a great life. I know AJ would be an amazing dad. I would hope that I would be an amazing mum. But at the same time, I also could see us living like this happily ever after, forever, living how we are now. We'd have the best fucking time ever.
Yeah.
So I'm completely on the fence.
Sky and I, we don't want kids as of right now because we're just selfish and we want to spend our money.
Same.
And also obviously very content, but I just wish we could be a bit more spontaneous. Like I just, you know, we talked on this podcast before about like I just want to book a flight next week and go somewhere, but like, you know, we just can't do that. So I wish we were a little bit more spontaneous because I feel like we really used to be, but then...
You get older and you get responsibilities.
We just decided we'd save money and I'm fucking over it. I'm like, oh my God, can't be bothered with the saving. But we don't really want kids, but the only thing that gets me is like leaving a bit of a legacy behind. You know what I mean? Like once him and I die, what is left of us? Do you know what I mean? There's no... So that's the only thing, but I also don't really care about that. To be honest, I'll be dead anyway.
You're dead, yeah, you won't even fucking know you're dead. My next question, what is one big purchase you regret?
My car. I didn't need it. I could have kept my old car.
And just kept it going
I
for a while.
upgraded and it was dumb. Look, we all make stupid business decisions. I like got the new car for tax purposes and blah, blah, blah. And it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. And I didn't need a new car. So it was kind of a waste of money. But anyway.
My big purchases that I regret are from... back in my YouTuber days. It was when all the influencers were buying designer everything.
Yeah.
Like, remember everyone was having the fucking this and that, the Louis Vuitton, this and that. And I've never been into like designer things or anything like that, but I fell victim to it and purchased 2 Gucci shoulder bags, just like your little bag that sits at your hip with the long thing, like the Gucci disco bag and some other Gucci one with like the 2 G's on it, like the gold G's. And like I used them a lot back then, but that was me literally just buying into a fucking trend because everyone else was buying it. Like if I didn't see other people flaunting that back in the day on Instagram and YouTube, I never would have bought it. And they were like $1,400 each and $2,000 each. And like that was the only time that I bought into that kind of stuff. And I'm glad I didn't go further because I know a lot of influencers back in the day fucking spent their whole pays on designer everything. But I would say that's like, not that I regret it. Like I used the bags a lot back then, but that was just stupid. Like I don't need to be spending that much on a bag. Although you fucking have nice bags.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Matt.
I'm sitting here, the most I've spent on a bag is $5,500. And I don't regret a thing. It is absolutely stunning Prada bag.
Sorry, Matt. I'm just here saying, oh my God, I regret these stupid influencers fucking. But each to their own. That was just my thing. I'm like, I didn't need those bags.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't need those bags, but I work fucking hard and I want to treat myself. Like and also I would never spend that money if I didn't have that money to be able to, in brackets, waste, I guess, if you want to say it like that. But I've got like that $5,500 Prada bag is because I worked so fucking hard during World Pride.
Well, it's the same as me. Like I have an expensive car and I don't regret that purchase, whereas you do. So it just shows how different like all of our preferences are.
For sure.
With what we spend our money on.
And I want more designer bags. I
want more cars.
I love them. I just feel like I want some designer clothes as well. I've been looking at some Prada like clothes.
I mean, you wear them a lot.
I'm not at the point where I can justify just yet. I think like my thing is like I was looking at some tops and stuff. They were $2,500 for a top, and I was like, no.
Stupid.
I went into Versace. I saw a fucking top. I thought that's cute. It had all these diamantes on it. I thought that's cute. I'll get that. $6,500 for a top. I went absolutely fucking not, love. So the clothes are bad, but I don't know why I can justify it on a bag. I quite like, and my Louis Vuitton bag. Did I even bring my backpack? Oh yeah, there it is. That was the first one that I bought. That was real sentimental for me because that was the first bag that I bought when I like got like my first like big brand deal paycheck and like I was like, oh, I'm going to get a backpack.
Spend your money on whatever you want. I'm all for it.
Yeah, for sure. Death row, last meal. What are you choosing? I'm going big, fat, juicy, crispy chicken burger, bacon, cheese, aioli, lettuce, buttered bun, brioche bun, big, fat fucking beer battered chips with an aioli on the side. That's my death row meal.
Mine would be potato bake and lasagna. And I know you fucking hate lasagna. But my nan's potato bake and lasagna together, I'm eating both of them. Like a whole tray each.
I think that's a waste of a last meal, if I'm honest.
With a pink bee. To wash it all down. That's my last meal. Ask Matt some period questions. Would be funny to hear how much he knows.
Oh, okay.
How many tampons do you think people use when they're on their period?
How long does a period go for? Like 3 to 4 days?
Depends. It could be, I think.
So maybe I say per day?
Yeah.
I want to say 2 to 3 a day?
Yeah, I think give or take. Like it depends. It depends on the person.
If you've got a heavy flow, maybe 4 or 5?
Yeah, some days it's a lot. But some days, especially towards the end, maybe it could just be a couple or a few. So I'll give you that. I saw a video on TikTok of people going around the street interviewing people that question, and they were getting it like so wrong.
What were people saying? Like
2,
one,
like the whole time.
2 the whole time.
Yeah.
Wow.
When do you think people get their period? What age?
Like 13, 14?
Yeah, again, I think it depends on the person.
I'm gay. I grew up with girlfriends. You know what I mean? Like I was around girls my whole life.
I still remember the day that I got. I'm sure everyone remembers the day they got their first period.
Not me.
I think I was 12. I was young. And I think I was in year 7. I was young for the year. And I was at home, luckily. Went to the toilet. And for some reason, I looked down. Have I told this story on the podcast before?
No.
This is ringing a bell to me. I don't know. I looked down and then I noticed that there was like blood. And then I fucking freaked out and Mum was home. And I called out to Mum or I might have went out of the bathroom and I was like, Mum, like there's blood. Like I'm sure I knew what periods were. And then my mum was on the home phone at the time that I told her, like the home phone fucking days, a cordless home phone. And she was so excited. She was on the phone to one of her girlfriends. She goes, oh, Brittney just got a period. And I was fucking mortified. Like I was crying like, Mum, you can't believe you just tell someone that.
A lot of people asking, can we do a live show? We would love to do a live show. We have no idea how the fuck to do that, like, or where to go or what to do or...
Luna Park.
You know, how many people would come? I don't know. How do we see? The thing is with podcasts and stuff, I don't know how to look at the data of where people are listening and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure Nova could look into that. I've got a question here. Why isn't Kate invited on the pod? We don't have guests.
We only had Milo that one time because it was important to have her on because I just knew she was so educated in the topic we were talking about.
I also feel like if it was me, you and Kate here, like none of us would get a word in. It'd be all of us yelling over the top of one another and like it would not be a conversation. But we're not a guest podcast, unfortunately.
Not yet. I feel time and place. I don't want to have someone on the podcast. Like, let's say Kate. I don't want to have Kate on the podcast and be like, hey, Kate, so tell everyone what you do.
Nah,
when did you first realise that you could do social media full time? Fucking boring.
When I go on a fucking podcast now, because I've been getting asked a lot more with like Fate and my business. But when I get on a podcast and they're like, so tell me about YouTube. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I can talk about a lot more interesting things than my YouTube days. Like everyone knows that or you can find it online.
Yeah. So
I agree.
My thing is like if we're going to have guests on here, they need a purpose. We would get Kate on if it was relevant to a topic that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. Sure, have Kate on. We love her. We want her on the podcast, but like she needs to be here for a reason. And it's not so much we want to like introduce her to our audience. It's more we just want her to join the conversation and just be a third co-host and not spend too much time being like, so tell everyone about yourself. Like I fucking hate listening to podcasts like that. You know what I mean?
Same. If you didn't do social media or have a business, what do you think you would be doing genuinely? I'd be doing makeup.
In this economy, struggling, living.
Cancelled.
Well, am I wrong? Where could I work? There's no jobs going.
There is. We fucking hire all the time at Fate.
Maybe I'd be working for you. I'm living in Sydney. I don't think I'd be living in Sydney. I wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any like qualifications, didn't go to uni or anything. Like, what am I doing? Working in a call centre? Mm-hmm. Like, I'd probably still be at McDonald's. When I worked at McDonald's, I wanted to be a manager. I wanted to own McDonald's stores. So fucking random. But that's what I'd be. But I feel like even if you own a McDonald's store these days, like, are you really that far ahead, you know? Mm-hmm. Someone said what really happened with Trash Alley. I get this question all the time. I feel like there's literally no tea here. Like,
isn't it obvious?
Everyone's like, what really happened with Trash Alley? If you don't know what Trash Alley is, it's my old podcast that I had. It was a Spotify original podcast. Spotify decided to move the money around and go, we can't afford to do all these podcasts. We're going to cancel them all. They cancelled us. They cancelled everyone, but we were the first ones to announce because I was like, I want to get this out. Like, our audience was so dedicated. Our trash bags were so dedicated. So they obviously were begging for new episodes. And I was just like, I want to hurry up and get this out, and I forced them to basically. I actually don't even think they allowed me, like, approved me to say it had been cancelled, but they already told us, and I went, I'm going fucking live because the trash bags want to know. And then everyone thinks there's big drama with my co-host that I had. Mitchell and I are still great friends. Tim and I weren't friends before the podcast, and he was hired to do the podcast with me, and obviously we had like an on-air relationship, but really we didn't see each other apart from that. And naturally when the podcast ends, we're not friends again now. Like, we never really were friends. It's like when you get a job, you make work colleagues, and then you leave the job and you're not friends with the people who worked there. You know what I mean? Like, there's no tea, there's no drama. Like, everyone wants to be like, oh, are you still friends with Mitchell? Are you still friends with Tim? Like, there's no fucking tea. Spotify were like, it was a business decision. They did it to a lot of podcasts. They kept a couple, like the big ones like Inspired Unemployed and Tony and Ryan. I reckon they made them a lot of money. So they kept investing in those. But to everyone else, we got the chop. No hard feelings. Love Spotify. I actually wanted to talk about this so long ago. And
is it good to get it off your chest?
It's good to get it off my chest because like this happened a few years ago now, and I was advised by my management not to like talk about what happened in case Spotify like wanted to work with me in the future. I've never fucking heard from them again. I used to do sponsored posts for Spotify all the time, and like they've literally never reached out since Trash Alley ended. So fuck it. I'm going to tell you now, that's what happened. It was Spotify's decision. We even said, hey, can we continue doing Trash Alley? They said, no, sorry, it's our show. You can't have access to it because it's a Spotify original. I said, yeah, take the name off. Me and Tim will just keep doing it. We have this community that loves this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, we want to keep doing it for the people. And Spotify, it was just So
No.
much red tape. They wouldn't let us have it. It was so annoying. I was fucking over it. I said, go away. You're annoying. I'm dropping it. I'm cancelling it. I'm putting the post up. It's done. Sorry, to clarify, they had cancelled it already, but I was just like, I'm announcing it. And then thankfully, like literally 4 weeks later, one door closes, another door opens. High Scrollers, Nova knocked on the door. You were like, want to do a podcast with me? And here we are today. So very grateful. And I think everything happens for a reason because I'm much more comfortable here doing this than I was doing Trash Alley. Like nothing against Trash Alley, Spotify, who I was doing Trash Alley with, nothing. I just feel like I wasn't very experienced in the podcast world. Now I've had that under my belt. I was able to come into High Scrollers like knowing what I want, not being able to being taken advantage of, blah, blah, blah. Knew what I want, knew what I wanted to get paid, knew who I wanted to work with, had all my requirements. And was able to be a bit of a boss bitch about the whole thing, whereas I feel like I was walked over a little bit with Trash Alley. Just my experience. No hard feelings to anyone who worked on that show. Love it. What a chapter in my life. I'm waffling on now just to save my own ass. But the point is, there's no fucking tea. And stop asking me what the tea is.
Well, that's the fucking end of the episode.
You reckon?
Yeah, we've been talking for like 20-something minutes.
Okay, good.
Thanks for sending in your questions.
I'm sorry if we didn't answer your questions. We'll probably do another one of these because this was actually really good.
It was
I
easy.
really liked this.
People giving us the content.
Yeah. Don't forget, we'll see you on Tuesday with a main show episode. And this has been Close Friends. What stays here? Well, this week.
What happens here stays here.
Yeah, I don't care if it stays here this week.
Or if you want to go and comment on Spotify.
Tell everyone, because these are all common questions that we don't want to fucking answer again. So tell everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.